The story of Easy Company of the U.S. Army 101st Airborne Division and their mission in World War II Europe from Operation Overlord through VJ Day. This mini-series is a special request for Liam Arnold and Sarah Beaudry. Hey guys, and welcome to my new mini-series from HBO, Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers came out in 2001. It's rated MA, and the duration of each episode is approximately about 1 hour long. It's an action, drama, history, war series. I'd normally go into the cast, but seeing as there's so many cast members, I'll let you know who the directors are. David Frankel, Mika Salomon, Tom Hanks, David Leland, Richard Longcrane, David Matter, Phil Alden Robinson. Look guys, episode 1 made me really angry because they made me hate David Schwimmer. I really, his character in this, straight off the bat, just the way he treated everyone, his decisions and what he did, the way he just disrespected the Band of Brothers was just unbelievable. This is literally, I mean, one thing I gotta say guys, straight off the bat, HBO don't hold back. They really don't hold back. I mean, look at Chernobyl. As I was watching this, that is literally one of the things I kept thinking about rewatching this, as I actually kept thinking about Chernobyl. Chernobyl was one of the first miniseries of HBO that I personally have ever seen before. And Band of Brothers is long before that. But in saying that, oh my gosh, you guys, far out. It's just one of those things that you look at, and this is, I'm really grateful to Sarah and Liam for bringing this to my attention. I genuinely, authentically am so grateful for you guys. Seriously, thank you for bringing this to my attention, because my grandparents were in the war and that's how they met, but I don't really know a lot about it. And when I watch stuff like that, I just have especially stuff like this that make it look so authentic. I just have so many questions. I have so many things running through my head when I watch stuff like this, specifically one that was so young. And I know this is a really random question, but it was something that I thought about while I was watching it, is how do they shave? Like, they're out there for months on end. Episodes 7 and 8 kind of wrecked me. It kind of wrecked me, and I'll tell you why. I am not good with the cold. I'm personally really not good with the cold. Now, whether they physically actually were in the snow filming it is another question, because they possibly might not have been, but it really authentically look like they were, and they sold it. Really watching this, guys, episode 2, it's one of those things where they go into such finite detail of character development and brotherhood. I was really eye-opened to how much just you don't understand as a civilian the grueling and intense training and mentality that goes into this stuff. Like, one of the things that they actually say in the dialogue later on in the series is he says something like, I can't show that I'm scared. Like, it's actually a narration over the top. There's a scene happening in front of us. A guy is digging with fingers, trying to dig a trench in the dirt. and the narration is actually saying over the top, he can't show that he's scared, because fear and being scared is actually poisonously effective and infectious in those environments. And basically what they were saying is they can't be like that to one another, because it's just so ridiculously, incredibly poisonous to the situation that they're in. One of the things that I actually have to say in a negative element about this series, I get why they did it. But it just didn't sit well with me. And that's the camera. It's the cinematography. I found quite often the cinematography, specifically in the battle scenes, it was so shaky. It was so incredibly shaky. And I kept thinking to myself while watching it, I kept thinking to myself, can you just hold the camera still? You know what I mean? In saying that, I understand why they did that. I get why they did that, because they wanted to show the audience the authenticity of war. They wanted to show the audience what is really happening. What is real? This isn't make believe. This isn't, the green screens and stuff like that. I mean, it's HBO, guys. It's HBO. So I have to say, authentically, guys, the opening sequence on episode 4, or the second opening sequence of episode 4, should I say, made me roll my eyes. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? And I don't want to, for anyone who's been following me for any period of time, I don't like to do spoilers because I don't think spoilers are fair. There was a character early on in the series, and they brought him back momentarily, and he was just a poisonous character. He was a really poisonous character, and I mean poisonous I mean, he just didn't treat them well. He didn't treat them right. He was a really bad. He shouldn't have been in the position that he was in, and what happens to him, I was very, very like, oh, yes, finally. But then later on in the series, it's just unbelievable how he treated other people. Oh, man. Wow. Just love is love. You gotta love, you know what I mean? I'm so passionate about stuff like that. The chemistry between all of the cast and actors. Now, I want to talk about, speaking of cast and actors, you have, okay. This is a 19-year-old miniseries. Just pause on that for a second. Yeah, you heard me right. This is a 19-year-old miniseries, okay? Back in 2001, guys, right? So, thinking about that, I could not believe, as the series went on and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and the storyline unfolded. In fact, I'll talk about the story unfolding in a second. There were so many celebrity cameos, and the more I was watching it, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking to myself about doing a massive list of exactly who the cameos were. And to be honest with you, I'd rather not spoil it for you authentically, guys. If you're really interested in seeing Band of Brothers, then you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how many incredible A-list characters now were in it back then, truly. Now, speaking of authentically, I want to talk about something really incredible about this series. Every episode opens up with actually the men that had to fight in the wars. I kid you not, guys. Listening to that sort of thing, you don't understand after hearing it, in my personal opinion, of how much we don't. It's not even a deliberate thing. It's not even a deliberate thing, guys. But how much we take for granted, really, how much we take for granted. These guys were young men, literally. Now, one of the things I found really, really, really interesting, and this is my personal opinion, I didn't find there much humor at all in this. In fact, very, 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 very little humor. There just wasn't funny because it wasn't funny. You know what I mean? It wasn't supposed to be funny. This is so powerfully authentic for a miniseries. When you watch a movie, it's really, really different because when you watch a movie, they show you elements of war, they blow stuff up, but it's like when they do a miniseries, specifically HBO, they don't hold back on anything. It's amazing. This sort of episode series, for HBO, Band of Brothers, they took them and they tried to make it real. So the audience was emotionally rocked when you saw something happen, and then you see other scenes, and it just made you really sit back and really think about, man, is this really happening? Like, is that really what went down? And I mean, it's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's not directed by him, but it's produced by Steven Spielberg. Tom Hanks was another director and producer. I apologize. And like just knowing how well they wanted to make this series is incredible, guys. Episode 6 at just shy of the 39-minute mark. Man. Wow. What I'm going to say about this episode, I just want to give you the heads up in advance. Yes, there's explosions and blood and just limbs and stuff like that, and you see messed up, but they don't really do visual in-depth shots of stuff like that, like really zoomed in. Except for episode 6, around about the 39-minute mark, just shy of that. A soldier is helping a nurse fix a wound. And it is so, like, it's just like, wow. That is really graphical. I mean, really, really graphical. Band of Brothers is literally one of the most brilliant miniseries, literally, in my personal opinion, besides Chernobyl. And if you haven't seen, at the end of this review, I'm gonna leave the link to Chernobyl. When I did my Chernobyl review, I literally just let the camera run. I just let the camera run because it's just such a serious matter, and war is a serious matter as well. It's crazy. I have to say, I personally was not prepared for what they showed at the end of episode 9. I really wasn't. I really, really wasn't. I didn't actually get what it was. I'm glad that they showed. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to myself here, guys, in saying this. I'm really not. The dumb audience. I'm not trying to be disrespectful in saying that. But I just didn't understand what I was watching. I didn't get it. And I'm glad that in the dialogue, they explain it. It is one of the most messed up, hardcore, eye-opening sequences and just evented moments that I've ever seen before. The reason why I was so impacted by that, and if you've seen Band of Brothers, you'll know what I'm talking about, and those of you who haven't, you're going to watch it after this review. there's like a curtain. It's like a curtain. It's like a door or curtain. Something is drawn back, and they do it kind of slowly to reveal it. There's something in there, and being the audience, I was affected by that. I was like, whoa. I understood the experience. Never in my life have I ever experienced personally anything to that degree or that intense. But I kid you not, guys, in any way, shape or form, it is hardcore. Now, to add icing on the cake, to make it worse, icing on the cake is probably a really silly terminology, but to make it even worse, the big sergeant guy, the head guy, I don't know what they're called. I've never been in the army. The head guy, he comes in and he has to make a decision. The decision that they make, if I was watching this miniseries in a movie, I wouldn't have been able to shut up. And I'm glad I was at home because I couldn't shut up. I seriously couldn't stop going, no, that's ridiculous. It was just the decision that they made, that they had to make, was just inhumane, I'm going to call it. Inhumane. It was brutal. It was unbelievably ridiculous. Would I recommend you watching Band of Brothers? 19 years, it's 19 years old, guys, and I've literally just watched it now. I'm just not into war stuff, but HBO series, man, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what the audience wants to see. I would, if you haven't, please go and see Band of Brothers. All right, guys. So for anyone who's been following me for any period of time, I'm actually only going to give you a piece of trivia because there's a lot of trivia for this, but I'm only going to give you a piece of trivia, and purely because of the fact that I want to, besides giving you trivia about Band of Brothers, I want you to experience it. I want to encourage you right now, go and watch Band of Brothers, guys, seriously. So I'm going to give you one piece of trivia and then we'll end this review. So it's trivia time! So this is pretty awesome. Almost all the main actors were actually cast because of their authentic and real life features that actually resemble the actual soldiers that it actually happened to. What? That is cool. That is amazing. Far out. That's actually pretty impressive. That's filmmaking at its finest, or miniseries at its finest, whatever you want to call it. Guys, I just want to take this opportunity, to thank my subscribers from the bottom of my heart. I honestly can't believe that I'm so close to hitting 200 subscribers. And the reason why I say that is because I don't even personally know 200 people, but literally, you guys are watching my content, and I just can't tell you enough how much I value being here. I genuinely, authentically mean that. Honestly, I'm so humbly grateful for you being here, watching my channel, leaving a thumbs up on my reviews, because that gives me so much good feedback. It lets me know that you're enjoying it. Guys, if you're a fan of the reviews and you have something to say, leave a comment in the comment section below. And remember, don't forget, make sure it's nice and polite, or else I just won't answer it. But I'm open to questions. You know, what did you think yourselves? What did you think if you've seen it, Band of Brothers? And if you haven't seen it, have I encouraged you? Have I talked up this miniseries enough to encourage you to go and see Band of Brothers? And I know what you're thinking. I know my audience are out there going, wait, you haven't asked about rewatchability. Is Band of Brothers rewatchable? You know it is, guys. You know it is. Hence the reason I made this review go so long. I deliberately, intentionally did that. I really did, guys, because I wanted to really give you my heart on this one. I really wanted to give you I just really wanted you to understand how much this mini series meant for me. It really did. I'm so grateful, humbly grateful. Liam, again, Sarah, I genuinely, authentically value you guys telling me about this. Seriously, thank you so much. I really humbly am grateful. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel, why don't you go ahead and subscribe now? And don't forget, while you're at it, if you're on a mobile device, go and click that bell for notifications. That way, when I drop anything, guys, it'll be yours on your device straight away as soon as I drop it online. I really value that so much. And you know, if you like my content when I drop it online, if you want to share it around with your friends and stuff like that, feel free to do that, guys. I really appreciate that. As I said, leave a thumbs up on this review, guys. It really means a lot to me. And I know that you're appreciating my content, and I really value that. I genuinely do, guys. And until my next movie review, just kidding, my next review of any description, I know this isn't a movie, but mainly I do movie reviews, guys. Until my next review, whatever that may be, I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you guys because you've got to stick around. Subscribe, click the bell, leave a like, and you'll see it, guys. As soon as I drop it, you'll see it. I can't wait to bring that to you because it's come to Australia finally, and I'm really excited to see that. I see that on Wednesday, so Wednesday night I'll be able to review that. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you, generously, gracefully, humbly. Thank you for everyone. Please go and see Band of Brothers. Hire it, buy it, whatever you want to do. It's on HBO, it's on Blu-ray, it's on DVD. Genuinely, it's incredible. Thank you so much again. And don't forget who's bringing this mini-series review to you for Band of Brothers. This is Superman Steve, guys. Flying